who has done the work. Does that mean that they're like perfect and never have to do any healing work again? No. But whatever had gotten in the way between the two of you potentially being together or being happy, this has been dealt with. And I do feel like it is multiple um, situations or issues or perhaps perceptions that needed to be dealt with. And now we have this individual who could be, maybe it's somebody who wanted to be with you, but you weren't actually in a committed relationship, or it could be an ex. But this is someone who's sitting here thinking, hmm, now that I've done the work, now that I've addressed the things that caused problems for us in the past, is it worth talking to you and coming back around and seeing if we could make it work now? Or would you just like leave me on red? Would you just ignore me completely because you are over it? So, this is someone who wants to come back around, but I do at least like that we have some good intentions, and there seems to be zero desire to mislead where they're at emotionally because they're actually quite proud of what they've been able to accomplish. And I would say they should be proud. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. If you are interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. You can also find a link to my Etsy shop if you're interested in a homemade soy candle. Thanks to those of you that have checked them out. And I think we shall start with, I'm going to go with the Bianco Nero. What else do we have? The Chariot, the Two of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. So I'm contemplating coming back through and making, some sort of effort here or reaching out to you because there's still these loving feelings, but I have worked on what I needed to. The question is, are you going to entertain like talking to me, or are you going to assume that, it's not a good fit? Will you give me a chance if I tell you I dealt with the things that caused me to not know how to commit to you or be emotional or communicative with you in the past? Nine of Cups in the reverse, the King of Swords in the reverse, and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't know, man. um, They see you as the King of Swords in the reverse, which is basically saying, you didn't want to be with me, or you were very clear that this was a problem, or you weren't going to tolerate that. But if I've gotten over whatever that is, I'm not entirely certain you're going to believe me. They kind of feel like you're maybe a little bit too quick to judge, and that you would see their name pop up on your phone and be like, ugh, not you again. Leave me alone. But would you actually like listen to me if I told you I fixed things or I'm different, right? Pancakes? I ate all the pancakes. Sorry, Soledad. What else? Eight of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Cups, and the Page of Swords in the reverse. I mean, I think they're going to do it, but they're coming up with a creative way to communicate with you. It's like maybe if someone else tells you that they have communicated with me and noticed that I'm different, then when I text you, you might actually like give me a chance, right? So it's like, um, in middle school or high school when someone would like slip you a note and be like, "Hey, I'm into you. How do you feel about me?" Or if your best friend walked up to your crush and said, "So and so has a crush on you. What do you think?" "Oh, what? Oh, you like them?" Um, They feel like there has to be some sort of intro to the fact that they have worked on themselves that comes from somebody else. Hey, so sorry, I'm sorry that you don't seem to understand what's going on this channel, but thanks for stopping by. I would very much so encourage you to read the book that you're talking about, because it says, judge not, yet you be judged. This is a gift that I have from God. But carry on. You need to look for intentions, okay? You're misunderstanding what witchcraft is. Hello, Charles. Hello, Ryder. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Kid Stardust. How's it going? So we've got King of Pentacles in the reverse, Strength, and the Knight of Swords. This person has actually made changes, okay? This is not someone who's manipulating you and trying to get you to see them as better than they were without having actually lifted a finger. They are actually in a very good place. Emotionally, spiritually, physically. They've worked on not just one thing, multiple things. They might be doing better financially. They might have cut off some, friends that were a bad influence. But with judgment, this is like, no, I feel like I'm actually ready to be in a real relationship because I'm no longer lost or, making those silly decisions. I see things differently now. But they worry you wouldn't take it seriously if they're the ones who tell you that they've changed, right? You said, can you flip some for me? It was a joke. Soledad, if you have a question, I do personal questions after the general reading, which would be in just under 30 minutes. So I get through the general reading first. If you want me to add you to the list, you can put your question in a super chat, or you can donate a membership to someone else. Nine of Wands or Nine of Wicks in the reverse, and the Five of Crystals or Five of Swords. See, I don't feel like I could just tell you what's going on because you assume I might be lying, or you might expect me to lie about that. They really feel like someone else has to tell you what's up before they can communicate with you. If I just try to reach out, I think you would block me. I don't think you would take it seriously. So they're making a plan and they're leveraging a friend or a, maybe you all have like a mutual coworker or something. I don't recommend dating someone that working with, but Five of Jars or the Five of Cups is coming through in the reverse because they don't want to regret missing out on a potential second chance with you, but they also don't want to fumble by approaching that wrong. So they feel like they really need to be strategic. What's up, Redbeard? Oh, it's okay. Redbeard, why did you time her out? Oh, sorry, Soledad. All right, what else do we have? We have the Teacher and another Strength card. Teachers in the reverse. So I do think that this is because you have seen them in not the best of lights. You have seen them maybe operating with some kind of immature approach to dating, or maybe they weren't, very grounded. There might have been some insecurities that prevented you from feeling like a relationship was a good idea. Hello, Gerlene. How are you doing? Page of Petals or Page of Pentacles in the reverse. The Sun in the reverse and the Fool. I think if you had no additional information on this person, and you were asked if you would give them another chance, you would laugh in that person's face and be like, why would I do that? That person doesn't know what they're doing. That person made me upset, or that person didn't know how to communicate, or they didn't know how to commit. And we have the Fool, because they've taken a different approach. I got respect for this person because they have actually identified the things that were blocking a healthy connection with you, and then they dealt with those things. But they know it's maybe a little bit unusual to actually do that, so they know that you might expect that they are lying or that they haven't actually done any work. They've changed. The World and Death. Death is a scary card for a lot of people in the tarot, but it's honestly one of my favorite cards because it talks about transformation. It talks about the ability to shed a skin of your old self. Okay, that was how I acted in my teens. I don't want to do that anymore. That's how I acted in my 20s. I don't want to do that anymore. You know what? I understand how to communicate differently or more effectively. So I'm not going to do, those other things anymore. Example, I used to do oh, I don't want you to think that I'm too into you. So I'm going to wait 2 hours before responding. I'm sorry, if I'm holding my phone in my hand and you message me now, I'll just like respond because like I don't care. Either like you're important to me or you're not, but I'm not gonna like play those games, you know? This is someone who has made consistent effort over the last weeks or months to improve upon the things that they know were blocking them from having a healthy relationship. So they're doing things right. They're doing it because they want to be a good partner. Hello, Zubin. How are you doing today? Hello, Dreams. What's up? Thank you. Yeah, if you all don't mind liking the video, that means a lot to me. Hello, Micheline. That's true. Tiana's probably somewhere running 6 miles. Hello, Stargazer. How are you doing? So we have the Three of Wands or the Three of Wicks in the reverse and the Four of Petals or Four of Pentacles. So I do think that they have a desire to let you know what has changed, but as of yet, they have not taken any action. They're trying to, I think, find a way to give you a little bit of a heads up without it coming directly from them. If there is a mutual friend, that'll help, or maybe, social media, but they're nervous. They feel like no matter how they approach it, there's a good chance that you'll look at it and be dismissive of it. Like, yeah, that sounds real nice, but I don't think you've actually worked on those things. Now, I'm just going to remind you, when you go through a lot in life, when you've been betrayed, when you've dealt with people who are lying and manipulative and gaslighting, I don't blame you for not wanting to I don't blame you for being discerning. I don't blame you for being selective. I encourage that. But if you have been capable of changing your life, we also have to be understanding that other people can change too. Does that mean you owe this person another chance? No. They could be absolutely perfect, but if you are not feeling it, you are not feeling it. You don't owe this person a second chance. What I will say is, I don't want you to regret missing a connection or not giving someone a chance if it is someone you could actually be with. So we just want to make sure we're leveraging the discernment, right? Why do we have discernment unless it's for us to be able to figure out, hey, that one's actually a decent human. So we have the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. They're coming back around. They want to make an offer in love, but they acknowledge that it is not going to be easy, that it is not going to be a walk in the park. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Mike. Hello, Elvin. How are you doing? Oh, it's her birthday? Yeah, I could see how that would be one of those days where you're like, do I reach out? Thank you, Zubin. I'm adding that for you. And I think you've been here before, Zubin, but just in case, I do the personal readings after the general reading, which will be in about 20 minutes, maybe a little bit less. Advice on twin flame to move forward. Breakfast of Champions. LOL, Elvin. Oh, it's going well. Thank you, Mike. Hello, Rachel. What's up? I'm definitely not telling you to go back to somebody who does that. Okay, Stargazer? But let's keep in mind that this is a general reading, and there are some people out there who have worked on themselves and are a worthy partner. Maybe it's just a matter of being able to forgive them. Because forgiveness is not just for the person that you're forgiving. It's also for you. Oh, that's awesome. Hello, Grind Tired. How you doing? Ooh, I'm so excited for you. I'm sending you abundant energy. If anyone else is able to send some prosperous, successful energy to Grind Tired, I appreciate that. So we have the Three of Swords, and it's coming through in the reverse. That's how we want to see it, because that's the card that talks about healing. What had been a problem in the past, I have dealt with, because I know that's what was making it impossible for me to connect with you in a real way. This is the Oracle of Heaven and Hell. Wait, what does that mean, Alvin? I need to know what that means. I can't be trusted. All right. What do we have? Sea tree. I think that's how we say that, right? At the top. Indiscretion and lie telling. Such an easy or like interesting way of saying lying. But you like the lie telling too much. Why are you always lie telling? I think I'm gonna like start saying it that way. Hello, Danny. How are you doing? All right. Well, that was what they needed to work on. This person was dishonest. And now we have Aniel. Breaking the circle. Okay, this is what we need, right? Yes, I was dishonest. I was not willing to let you know what was really going on, or how I really felt, or maybe even like who I was really dealing with. But I'm not going to do that anymore. This person is very focused on being honest. This is the Wild Reflections Tarot. Hello, Oracle. Are you talking to me? You talking to me? Or are you talking to someone out there? What else do we have? The Hermit in the reverse, the Two of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. I don't want to be a liar anymore. I don't want you to worry about whether or not you can trust me anymore. Look, this is a very serious issue. If there's someone out there who's saying, I don't care if this person has changed, you ruined the trust. I get it. I would still encourage the forgiveness if you're holding on to some frustration, right? So their commitment to honesty was not necessarily a thing before, but it is now. They realized that the lying was not a good idea. Hello, Charlene. From Alaska? Oh, that's awesome. I used to visit my grandma up there. She lived in, oh, come on, it's in my brain somewhere. I can't think it was far north. Is it Nome? It might have been Nome. But Alaska is so beautiful. Of course, I had to visit Juneau as well. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. And Denali, which is so interesting because this card is totally what I would have picked if I was talking about Alaska. So we've got someone who is like they're retiring or have retired, that kind of like immature, I have to put on a facade or be something in order to get people to like me. This is someone who's going to be more authentic, or just their authentic period, right? They're not interested in playing fast and loose with who they are. You're funny, Redbeard. It's gorgeous, isn't it? I haven't been there in a long time. That was a long time ago, but I would totally go back to Alaska. And we were there where it was like sunshine at 11 p.m. at night, you know? I would kind of struggle with that, I think. So we've got the Four of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Wands. They see you as the Queen of Wands, and they know that you view them as trouble. Now, why would I talk to you again when all you do is lie? You lie like a rug. They know that's how you view them. And you're not wrong, because that's how they handled it, right? That's what they were doing. So I feel like this King of Pentacles is your mutual friend or someone who knows that this person has been working on themselves. And with the Death card in the reverse, it could be like maybe you stayed in contact with this person's roommate, or you got close with their family, or maybe you got introduced to this person from a friend of yours. There is an intermediary, this King of Pentacles, who I think you trust, but is also still in contact with the ex or the person that you don't really trust. There's still snow. I believe it. I grew up in Minneapolis, so I remember we got snow on June 5th one year. I was mad. I mean, mad. Like, I'm gonna be wearing a swimsuit, dang it! What is this? Gross. And then I moved to Tennessee, and the first spring I was here, I got a tan in February. This is just ridiculous. This is the King of Wands, though. That's the, like, I want to find a way to communicate with you and let you know that I've actually worked on myself, you know? Jeffrey, what? I read that 3 times, and I think that there's a typo in there or a missing word. I think what you're trying to say is you just have to take responsibility for what you say. Is that what we're trying to say? Ugh. Well, I am wishing warm weather for you, Charlene, and the retirement of any shovels. Interesting. So they're coming through as the King of Swords, King of Wands. They want to take action. They want to show you that they have changed, they've worked on themselves, and they are more honest. And I think they really are. The issue is convincing you. Seems like a pretty tall order. seems a bit difficult. I don't know what words to say. I don't know that you'll give me the chance. I feel like I've already ruined, the image that you have of me. So they're trying to be creative with it. I don't know, maybe they're gonna write you a note and it'll come from that mutual friend. This is, yeah, we're gonna go with the Gilded Reverie. What else? Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Yes, if y'all can hit the like for me, I appreciate it. Okay, so this is more than likely a romantic connection. It does not have to be that way for all of you. It's a general reading. But I think for the majority of this is someone who wants to be in a relationship. And they're using a social connection to try to reconnect with you. That tower in the Lenormand is different than the tower in the tarot, okay? It talks more so about a structure or a hierarchy or maybe even a building, but I feel like this is talking about the social structure. There's someone else here that still connects us, and I'm going to, leverage that. We have the home, number 4, and the compass. Maybe this person moved. And a key? I think we have someone who moved, but it impacts their karma somehow. It's like I moved so I wasn't involved in that group of people anymore. Or I knew this was a bad influence, so I changed that. Or maybe it's I'm going to be home around the same time as you. I don't work a different shift anymore. There's changes here, and they feel like they have figured out the code. And this is someone who would be loyal. They feel like they have to come around and tell you, because you don't necessarily know, that they have been working on that emotional side of themselves and realizing if they want a connection with you, they need to be honest. Above all else, they have to be honest with you, or they don't get to connect. They don't get to be in your life. Yes, I agree. What else? Oh, really? I haven't seen you in so long. I was starting to wonder if you'd forgotten about me. So this could be a twin flame reading. And I'm sorry if you've already heard me say this 28 times on other readings, but twin flames would be a concept that gets tossed around YouTube rather carelessly. And I think there are some people who feel like they make the most money by telling you that you and your twin flame are destined to be together. There's no other option. You will, of course, get back together. You're no contact, but they're going to come back around and tell you everything that you ever wanted to hear. It's going to be amazing. Be very cautious listening to people on YouTube who tell you that the only person that you can be with or that you should be with is your twin flame. I would fight them. You want to fight about it? The twin flame journey is not about who you are supposed to end up with romantically. It is about a deep spiritual connection that holds up a mirror to you to show you what you deserve and what you need to work on. The twin flame journey should encourage you to have better boundaries, to love yourself, to forgive people, and to know that sometimes what you want most is not right for you. I think a lot of people end up not with their twin flame because the twin flame requires both people work on themselves. And quite often, only one person does the work on themselves. If that person is not going to do the work to be the partner that you deserve, then they've done their job by motivating you to do the work on yourself. But they don't deserve to sit at your table. So it's only when both twin flames work on themselves and there's a period of separation and together and separation and together, when you actually realize that the love that you have for yourself is more important than the love that you have for this twin flame, that, my friend, is the point, right? Hello, Renee. How are you doing? I hope that goes well. So we have the soulmate card and someone who's making an offer. If this is your twin flame, I'm going to tell you right now, it sure looks like they've done their work. But you, my friend, have discernment and intuition to be able to determine whether or not that offer is something you should actually consider. Hey, Aaliyah, thanks for stopping by. So we've got lost, ghosted, blocked, cut off. Well, that's interesting timing. I really do wish you well, Aaliyah, and others who feel that way. But if my channel ain't for you, it ain't for you. I could sleep real good at night because I know that what I'm doing with my life, like my time, my life, my work, it has good intentions behind it. So, yeah. We've got someone who is single. After you have blocked them and not been interested in any kind of connection with them, they want to come back around and share what they have worked on, share their new energy. And some of you are going to decide too little, too late. You should have figured that out earlier. Or I really just don't want to be going back for another potential heartbreak. And others of you are going to see this person has reformed or has changed and does want to be good to you. It is your intuition and discernment that guides you in this, right? But I do see that this person wants to be loyal to you. I will tell you that. Let's see what we get from the Overthinkers Oracle, and then after that, we're going to do the personal questions, okay? Hello, Tracy. How are you doing? Yeah, we don't really do the all caps. Especially this early in the morning, you know. All right, what else? What else do we have? Yo. I have not seen this card for a long time either. Twin Flame. And the blocked card, you guys, what? What? They're not playing today. They're like, yeah, we know you blocked them. We know they're your twin flame. They've been working on some stuff. They got they're hurted. They've been working on themselves, but they feel like they were tricked out of their blessings. That they should have communicated with you sooner. This time, I promise, my actions will match my words. I don't always believe that card when I see it, but I do in this time. In this reading, we do have someone who's going to deliver. The question is, have they taken too much time? Have you already moved on? They know that you deserved more than what they had to offer in the past because they were uncomfortable communicating their emotions for you. They're afraid that love will pale in comparison with anybody else and that you are the love of their life. They want to see you face to face because they feel like that's going to enable you to actually read their energy and see that they have changed. Hello, Jamaica. How's it going? My pride and ego got the best of me. I dream about making things right between us and you loving me again. They consider you their soulmate. I think at one time you would have considered them your soulmate as well. They feel like it's really over and that there's no way to convince you to come back. I didn't comprehend what this connection was until it was too late. And I hate how I treated you. I keep thinking about the first time we did the naked thing. And you called them out on what they needed to change. You're the only one who this person takes seriously, to be honest. I feel like there were plenty of people who tried to get this person to commit to them in the past and they just kind of laughed it off. You're the only one who made them realize how bad they wanted a true love or a loving relationship or that commitment. And they were in denial for a long time because they kind of took pride on the fact that they didn't want that serious connection. All right, this is the Shadowscapes Tarot. We're going to dive into Zubin's question here. All right, so Zubin, it's kind of interesting because I didn't know it was a twin flame reading when you asked a question and then it turned into a twin flame reading. But what is the advice for Zubin on the twin flame, on how to move forward regarding the twin flame? King of Swords, Five of Wands in the reverse, Two of Swords in the reverse, Six of Cups, and Four of Pentacles. There's still a strong connection here. And there's introspection happening on both sides. But with the Four of Pentacles, there's someone holding back. Is this Four of Pentacles for Zubin? There is fear that sits on your heart. There is fear that you need to eradicate. And I know that sounds like an impossible task, but if you can picture, maybe you can, the Devil card in the tarot, there's two people who are bound to the devil. And in my mind, those two people, well, maybe not even just in my mind, it's probably for a lot of people. Those two people on that card represent insecurity and fear. Because to me, insecurity and fear, those two things are the greatest blockers to a real relationship or that ability to connect to somebody. And it leads to people fumbling or ruining those connections. This is someone who is afraid. They were afraid of loving you the way that they felt they should. They were afraid of being rejected. They felt they didn't deserve you. They felt you would break their heart, so they broke your heart first. There is still fear in your heart, Zubin, regarding love or regarding this twin flame. And you either operate coming from a place of fear or love. And when your relationship is not able to fully park itself in the love category and you still have that fear, it's because there's a lack of trust. So that fear is a block to this twin flame connection. You can't just go, oh, boop, and now the fear is gone. It requires work. So there is some spiritual or emotional work that needs to be done on your side. It could look a lot like forgiveness. It could look a lot like journaling or just like talking through some of those fears or concerns that you have. But until you are coming from a place of love as opposed to fear, this connection will not be able to move forward. Ace of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Wands in the reverse, Knight of Cups. I do feel like there is love between the two of you. But with the Ace of Swords coming through in the reverse, there is also some dishonesty that still persists in this connection. I don't feel it is entirely on one side. I don't feel like we have a liar and a truth teller. I feel like there is just this hiding emotions or not necessarily knowing how to process certain things. So the separation between the two of you is important to allow for both of you to work on the things that create that fear, right? Ten of Swords in the reverse and Seven of Cups. So there's choices before you, and one of them is recovery. Ten of Swords in the reverse. One of them is a way to navigate towards that twin flame direction or that twin flame person without having that fear being like the driver in the seat, right? So the Empress is a great card to embody love. When you're able to truly love and let go, even though you know it's a risk, even though you know you might get your heart broken, that is power. Anytime you choose to get to know someone and you're putting your heart on the line and you know they could break your heart and you know that it may not end with a fairy tale, that is power. You are saying, I know that I deserve to be loved. I know that I want to be in a happy, healthy relationship. And I know it takes risking getting my heart broken in order to be in that situation. That is the most powerful you can ever be. There's risk, but I've calculated it. I've used my discernment. I'm doing what I can. I am not afraid. I am not afraid of the heartbreak because I am that convinced that I deserve to be in a happy relationship. So when you eradicate that fear, then the twin flame path is clearer for you. But it also requires that your person is doing their work, right? They have to do that as well. All right, y'all. I want you to come up with 3 yes or no questions, and I'm going to pull 3 cards for you. If you need to, feel free to pause the live stream and come up with those 3 questions. The answers have to be a yes or a no because that's the only answers I can give you right now from this deck, okay? This is the Magic 8 deck, and sometimes they're, kind of comical versions of yes or no, and sometimes they tell you you don't get an answer today. Remember that your opinion can change from today or tomorrow, and so too can other people's, which might be why we get a not yes or no question or answer. All right, are you ready? Question number 1, what do we have? Don't count on it. And question number 2, yes. Question number 3, don't bet on it. So it's a yes sandwich with no bread. I hope that makes sense. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.